Hello everyone, a very good evening to all of you. Welcome to the Officer Adda 24/7, the special session of your BRBL subject in the English medium language. So we are doing the case studies question. So let's start with the session. Okay, so first of all, if you are new in this session, do not forget to like and subscribe this channel, because once you subscribe the channel, the things will be automatically come in your mobile. So that's why subscription is very much important. Okay, now let's start with the session. Yeah. So guys, for a contract to be valid, if any contract is to be valid, the consent of the parties must be genuine. So what is consent? Consent means suppose X and Y is there. So X and Y is there. So we can simply say there is a free consent. It means without any pressure, X and Y are doing the contract. This is called consent should be genuine. Okay, it should be genuine. The principle of consensus ad idem is followed. So this is a legal maxim. What is this? Consensus ad idem is basically means same thing in the same sense. Same thing in the same sense is followed, which means that parties entering into contract must mean the same thing in the same sense. I'm just giving you one example to understand this concept very clearly. Okay, see, suppose X is saying that I just want to sell red car of Baleno. Y is also thinking same red car of Nikkita ma'am. So this is called consensus ad idem. So in the contract between X and Y, the consensus ad idem is followed. Is that okay? If it is followed, then the contract will be the valid contract. Okay, now the parties to the contract must have the same understanding in regard to the subject matter of the contract. Mere consent is not enough for a contract to be enforceable. Exactly. Mere consent nahi. There should be the free consent between the party. So that's why mere consent is not enough for a contract to be enforceable. The consent given must be free and voluntary. Exactly. The consent given, it should be free and voluntary. The definition of free consent provided under this is free means it should be without any coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation, mistake. So now I'm going to tell you that what exactly do you mean by coercion, undue influence, fraud, mistake and misrepresentation. So first of all class, as we know that if we just see the formula of contract, there should be offer plus acceptance. Offer acceptance is equal to promise. Okay, in promise, when there is a consideration means something for something, is equal to agreement. And in agreement guys, when there is a law enforceable, this is called contract. So this is the definition of the term contract. Is that okay? The definition of the term contract is there. So this is the formula of contract. Now in any contract, the consent should be free consent. So now I'm telling you the definition of free consent. Free consent means there should be no coercion. Coercion means to threaten someone. What is coercion? Coercion means to threaten someone. So in any contract, there must not be any threaten. Coercion. Undue influence, no influence of other party. Suppose if we can say undue influence, suppose if Nikkita ma'am is a very spiritual guru, she is telling to Neha ma'am that Neha ma'am, if you want to crack the CAIIB exam, you have to give this much of amount. Neha ma'am is very influenced by the Nikkita's ma'am wordings and she have given the amount. So this is called undue influence. So coercion, undue influence, fraud. What is fraud? If a person is deceiving, if a person is making a fraudulent statement, in fraud, the person know that I'm making fool to the other person, but still he is doing. So fraud is there. Misrepresentation, that is no wrong representation. What is misrepresentation? That is wrong misrepresentation. So what is the basic difference between the fraud and misrepresentation? C class. If I just tell you the basic difference now. So fraud, the person is doing knowingly, but in misrepresentation, innocently. Suppose if I'm representing that my car is very good condition, but actual I know that the brake of my car is not good. This is called fraud. But if I'm representing my car and I'm saying that my car is good, and I don't know that the brake of my car is not in good condition, so that is called misrepresentation. So if any contract is done by coercion, undue influence, fraud and misrepresentation, the contract will be voidable contract. So voidable contract means the opposite party have a right to breach the contract. The opposite party have a right to breach the contract. So if Nikkita ma'am is doing fraud with Neha ma'am, so we have done the contract, but Neha ma'am, you have a right to breach the contract. So these are the 5 things, and the last one is mistake. Mistake means wrongful things. What is mistake? Mistake means the wrongful thing. That's it. Okay, so these are the 5 things, okay, that is important. Coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation or mistake. Okay, the 5 things that we have to understand. Now class, consent is said to be so caused when it would not have been given but for the existence of such coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation, mistake. Okay, consent is said to be so caused when it would not have been given but for the existence of such coercion, undue influence, fraud, mistake. Clearly, free consent means the absence of any kind of coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation, mistake. Exactly. And when the consent which is given affected by these elements now, it's called into question whether the consent given was free and voluntary. The objective of this principle is to ensure that judgment of the party while entering into contract was couldn't cloud it. So this is very much important. So these 5 terms, coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation, mistake. So these are the 5 things that you have to understand. And I hope so that is clear to all of you. Okay, done. Now, therefore, the consent was given under coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation, mistake. It have potential to invalidate the contract. For example, such a factor that could invalidate the contract is coercion. And what is coercion according to this? Coercion is basically a commission, threat to commit any act which is forbidden by IPC. What is IPC? It's a national law. Its full form is Indian, that is Penal Code, Indian Penal Code. And the unlawful detaining and threatening to detain any property to prejudice any person whatever with the intention of causing any person to enter into agreement. So class, this is the definition of the word coercion. Okay, so IPC is basically that national law book in which the definition of the offense and its punishment is there. So this is called your IPC. Is that okay? So this is much important. This is very much important. Is that okay? Okay, that is important. Now, a very crucial part of the law phrase is that, what is this? To the prejudice of any person whatever. To the prejudice to the any person whatever, which means the coercion could be directed against the prejudice of any person, not just the party to the contract. It also not necessary that only the party to the contract causes the coercion. Exactly. Suppose if I'm saying that I will kill your child if you will not sign this document. So the contract is between me and suppose X person, but I'm threatening to kill the child of X person. So, so this is also comes under this contract. So this is what this paragraph want to say. Okay. Even the third party to the contract can cause coercion to obtain the consent, as was seen in the case of, this is a case name, it's a Ranga Yakama versus Alvar Sethi, where a widow was coerced to adopt a boy by the boy's parent by not allowing the crops of the widow's husband to be removed from the home until the adoption was made. So the burden of proof in the case of coercion lies on the party whose consent was so coerced. Exactly. So when the consent of party is obtained by coercion, the contract becomes voidable. So as I already told you, if any contract is done by coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation, the contract will be the voidable contract. Is that okay? And we know that there is a valid contract, there is a voidable contract, okay, and there is a valid contract, voidable contract, valid, voidable, and void contract. So this is important. Okay, so this is important part. Done. Now see, Adam, that's a question. Okay, that's a question. Adam, a customer, was forcibly not allowed by shopkeeper to leave the store until he purchased the item he inquired about. Adam purchased the item, was allowed to leave. Which of the following, as per understanding of the passage, is correct regarding the validity of the contract? Okay. First, the contract is valid as Adam accepted by his own consent to buy the item in order to leave the store. The contract is void as Adam was forcefully made to purchase the item and was hence coerced. The contract is not void but can be made void if Adam wishes as he was coerced, and the contract is void as Adam did not wish to purchase the item. So what is the right answer for this question? Tell me, class. Yes, class, tell me. That is very easy question. So class, in this case, the contract is basically, okay. So the correct answer is, according to question, C is the correct answer. Okay, because it is not void. The not void means voidable. Next. Sheila entered into contract to purchase a 3-year-old cow from a farm. The sailor delivered the cow and she took the ownership of the same. Sheila later came to know that the cow sold to her was 6-year old. As per your understanding of the passage, which of the following is truly describe this transaction? The contract cannot be invalidated as she had voluntarily taken ownership of the cow. The contract was not made with the free consent as it would not have otherwise been given aware of the real age. The contract can be invalidated as there was mistake of the fact of the age in this transaction, and the contract is voidable as the sailor exercised coercion to obtain the consent of Sheila. So what is the right answer? So class, in this case, first of all, there is no coercion, okay? The contract cannot be invalidated as she had voluntarily taken the ownership of the car. The contract was not made with the weak consent. So the right answer will be C. The contract can be invalidated as there was a mistake as to the fact of the age of this transaction. Okay. Now class, the next one. John and Manoj were in the business of trading the computer equipment. John had regularly threatened Manoj physically so that he could be exclusive business partner. The court passed a judgment invalidating the contract based on Manoj's complaint alone. Was the court justified in doing so? Was the court justified in doing so? That is very easy question. The right answer will be yes. Mere fact that the coercion is employed would automatically invalidate the contract. Thus, contract court was justified in passing this one. Okay, this is the right answer. Okay. Chan, a new trader in the market, he entered into contract with another trader and had a biggest market share. However, Chan later felt that he might have made a mistake and wished to invalidate the contract, claiming he felt pressured by the big trader. Can the contract invalidate? Yes, regardless of when consent was given, Chan free consent was later affected due to feeling pressurized. No, as he gave free consent to the contract and feeling pressurized later does not invalidate the contract. Yes, Chan was with the view that the bigger trader had a power to take over the business of others, so the fear is justified in invalidate the contract. Yes, it can be invalidate at the option of Chan as his consent was obtained by the use of undue influence. So what is the right answer? So the answer is no, because he have given the free consent to the contract and billing pressurized letter does not invalidate the contract. So B is the right answer. Okay, cool. A football player was interested in joining the certain club. However, his manager detained his assets until he joined the another club of the manager's choice. The player then entered the contract with the club chosen for him and reached the premises. It is too late now for him to change his mind. Is that okay? A very simple concept is apply. We can apply here. A very simple concept you can apply here. So guys, in this case, no, he can still exercise the option to void the contract because he was coerced by the manager. So this is the right answer. Okay, so guys, this is all for today's class and I hope so you people like the session. So guys, we have a CIB crash course that is already started. The live class is going on. We have a 4 compulsory subject. We can see ABFM, ABM, BFM, BRBL. Okay, 46 online live classes, free PDF, recorded live classes, 127 mock paper, 151 ebooks, and the doubt sessions are there. Okay, so if you want to join this, you have to apply the coupon code Y391 for the maximum discount. We have a foundation classes also that is already done. You can take and see the recorded session. We have a different subject subscription also. We have a recorded videos particular also. We have a mock test. We have a ebooks. We have a CIB book and we have a CIB ka Maha pack also. If you want to see the crash course foundation batch, revision batch, you can purchase CIB ka Maha pack. Okay, just apply the coupon code Y391 for the maximum discount here. Okay, so if you want to join this session, okay, all courses JIB CIB CIB June 2025 SC class, we have a CIB ka increment Maha pack also. First of all, let me show you what is this. In this CIB increment Maha pack na, you have a CIB ka Maha pack plus we are giving 4 books separately. Okay, you can see here. We are giving 4 books. Okay, we are giving ebooks also, live class also, mock paper also. All the batches are available. Okay, so I think we are giving everything to you. Everything. See, it's include 4 books, previous year question paper, bottle, diary, pen, faculties, quotations, formula sheets, study planner for CIB, etc. So if you want to just take this, apply the coupon code, that is Y391. Y391. Apply. You can see here 77% discount is there. So the price is only 11,039.08. Okay, so that's all for today's class. Thank you so much.